Join with me today, a legend in his own regard in so many different ways, talking about a legendary band, Jason Biggie Mansmith from the Willie Big Show on 95 and 96.1 The Rock, WTCX in the Fox Valley, joins today to talk about the debut album of maybe one of the greatest rock and roll bands in the world, Metallica and Kill 'Em All. What's up, man?
How we doing, man? So glad to be on the show with you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you are a force when it comes to knowing information about Metallica, and you have a good amount of history about it. How did you dive into the world of Metallica and see them? You've seen them like 15 times?
15, yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
So, um, to be honest with you, it was MTV, which is
Oh,
weird
nice.
for Metallica because they didn't do videos until one from the Injustice for All album.
Mhm.
Um, so I grew up mostly listening to like glam bands, right? So I was a Poison, Cinderella, all that kind of stuff. I dug that, old Van Halen, Quiet Riot stuff. And then I happened to have MTV on, and this video from Metallica 1 came on. And I'm like, wow, this is something different. Like, I knew who Metallica was,
Yeah.
right? Because, friends got Metallica t shirts, other people wearing, stuff, hearing it on them, but just really wasn't a big fan of it. And then kind of saw that video, and it kind of really intrigued me a lot. So I was able to start getting into that a little bit and then started working back in the library, right? So I went kind of weird. I came in at And Justice, then went back to Master of Puppets, went back to Ride the Lightning, went back to Kill 'Em All. Um,
Okay.
so I think I came in at a good time, along with a
Mm,
lot of other people. But Kill 'Em All to me was just like I hadn't heard anything like it before.
yeah. I have to be honest, this is like the first time getting ready for this episode that I've actually listened to the entire album.
Mhm.
Outside of that, I probably only heard Seek and Destroy and maybe
Right.
like Metal Militia or something like that.
Sure.
But it really wasn't what I expected to kind of hear, which and I guess I didn't realize this was their debut album, which from 1983. It's a handful of songs coming in at just a little under an hour,
Right.
and only a couple 2 years after Metallica was formed in 1981 with James and Lars, um, which I thought was kind of cool. And then, of course, that included Dave Mustaine and Cliff Burton. And I also didn't realize um, Dave Mustaine wasn't even like really much a part of the band for that long.
No.
And he's had a decades long feud and beef with them, which makes me even, it just, I find him more annoying now
Yeah.
because
I
of
don't know.
that.
I don't know if he's annoying anymore, but he's always got like that dick vibe, right?
Yeah.
He's like he's gonna be that guy who's gonna be a dick every once in a while, and that's fine. He's gotten older and stuff, but no doubt the influence that he had on this record.
Yeah.
Original bassist Ron McGovney from Metallica left the band because he couldn't get along with Dave, right? So then they
Mhm.
bring in Cliff Burton after they saw him playing with his band Trauma. Cliff says, "Yeah, I'll join the band, but y'all got to move to San Francisco." So they
Okay.
moved to San Francisco to join. So Cliff would join the band, and then they fly out to New Rochester in New York to record Kill 'Em All and start working on some stuff like that. They get out there, and Mustaine had a big drug alcohol issue,
Yeah.
beefs with the band, those kind of things. And they're like, "All right, man, you're out. Here's your bus ticket. Go back to California on a bus." Meanwhile, they got Kirk Hammett coming in from Exodus,
Mhm.
and he learned pretty much the album on the flight and had like a couple of weeks before they officially recorded that album. So Hammond had those songs in his brain for maybe like 5 or 6 weeks,
That's crazy.
and then knocked out one of the patriarch thrash metal bands ever, or an album
Yeah.
ever, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. And so this was released July 25th, halfway through the year 1983, Megaforce Records, small budget,
Yep.
and really covers a lot of different sounds that you hear in rock and roll. It has, I would say this is more like thrashy
Yeah.
than anything.
Correct.
There's definitely punk sensibilities in it. There's glam band sensibilities in it, and then there's this kind of like I think they probably helped like define what a thrash metal band kind of was. And when I would say I'm not like a super. I like Metallica, but I don't like seek them very often.
Mhm.
I think my Metallica journey started when I was a kid. The first I think song that really drew me in was No Leaf Clover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, from S&M.
Yep.
And I was just like, oh, this is kind of sweet. And then of course, like over time you hear Enter Sandman and Master of Puppets and stuff like that. So that and those songs are, I think, pretty different than what you hear on Kill 'Em All. So
It's just so raw,
yeah, it
right?
really is.
Right. And these guys were like 22, 23 years old when they put this album out, right? So I can't even imagine. Here we are 40 years later,
Yeah,
going, man, that thing was amazing. And these kids were just like, we're just making an album.
yeah. It's cool. So like definitely like one of like the first true thrash metal
Yeah.
albums out there. Faster than what most metal was at that time. And I'm told that probably like definitely like influenced, I would say like for sure Slayer, Anthrax, and even a lot of punk bands like tribute Metallica to this stuff. So like that's why like I think looking at this album was actually a pretty good thing to do. It opens with Hit the Lights. Um,
What an opener.
yeah,
Just absolutely crushing it. That come in with that Hetfield like slide on the guitar and then just
yeah.
into the riff master that he is. Fastest fastest picking guy I think in the world, I think.
Mm,
But I listened to this album again before we went on today with the
mhm.
show. Just to like, man, it's nice to go back and take it all in. But when you talk about starting out a release,
Yeah,
this was a song that Hatfield had worked with previously in another band he was in.
right.
So it's kind of been ingrained in him for a bit. But yeah, what a great way to start an album, and it just kind of
Yeah,
kicks you in the teeth a little bit.
it sure does. And it definitely has like the punk vibes to it. I think
Yeah.
this one does like so I like it quite a bit. The way he sings too, it's like it's this young Hetfield, and it's not like an overproduced album by any means. It's kind of like very much do it yourself, and um how it sounds is how it sounds in live, I would imagine at the time.
Yeah.
It's definitely got just playing loud, playing wild, and it's a great way to open it. I always talk about the opening track to any album needs to some way, shape, or form draw you in, because if it's a boring ass song, no one's gonna want to explore the
Right.
rest of the record.
Right. And
And
they've had a few other ones too, right? They've had some really good stuff. But Ride the Lightning starting off with that one, and just
mhm,
Master starting off with that. Those first couple of songs, just like, wow, okay, they are setting a mark here. No doubt
yeah,
about it. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
it's a lot of fun. And then it moves into the Four Horsemen, a 7-minute song. Like like holy buckets. So you're going from Hit the Lightning was like, or Hit the Lights is 4 something minutes, and then they go a 7-minute song. Um, I think this was originally Dave Mustaine's uh Machine X or something like that.
Mechanics.
Mechanics. Okay. Oh yeah, that
Mechanics.
makes sense.
Yeah. He wrote this one, right? He was, and if you go back into the Megadeth repertoire, it's on Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good.
Okay.
That song is on there. And I remember hearing that. I'm like, man, that sounds like the Four Horsemen a lot. Well, it was, right? Because Dave wrote it. I will unequivocally tell you, the Four Horsemen is my favorite Metallica song ever.
Nice.
Right. That is the one that is always standard on it. And I don't know what it is, but the lyrics are just badass because the original song was like kind of a creepy song from Dave
Yeah.
Mustaine, right? And then they redid the lyrics after Dave left and kind of came out with this thing. And then I think Dave went on later to talk about the fact that like, and you can hear it in there how the bridge is just the reverse of Sweet Home Alabama, right?
Oh,
Instead
okay.
of that dun dun dun
Yeah,
dun part
that's
of it.
cool.
Yeah, that's kind of where it is on that. But just the Four Horsemen thing where it's just like going,
It's even like it's groovy.
yeah,
Like when they're just like going on there, it's like, holy crap, like this is like a
yeah, good
groovy
stuff in
type of
that.
song, which is like, and then like so you have like two songs, your two opener songs are drastically different.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like setting the stage of like you don't really know what you're gonna get across this album. And then they have something about, the first song is about just kind of being young and free, or like, playing loud and all that kind of stuff. And then you kind of have these like kind of biblical apocalyptic type of things with this like groovy like jam session thrown in there. It's like, what the heck is
With a little
what?
bit of a gallop, because like the
Yeah,
Forest Horsemen, and you got a gallop going to the song. I'm like, okay, that's kind of brilliant, right? And you got those badass words like time and pestilence and all these other things that are coming in there in the
yeah,
lyrics. And I'm like, wow, this is smart.
yeah. I can't imagine like, in 83, because like, at the time in the world of punk, I think like Minor Threat had released an
Yep.
album. And, and they were like a pretty big staple, especially in like the straight X or the straight edge type
Straight
of
edge. Yeah.
um punk stuff. And it's like how like interesting it would be to like just see this new stuff just kind of unfold in front of you, like stuff that you literally have never heard before, you've never seen before. And whereas like you and I, we've been exposed to everything that's always been readily available for the most part.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine, like, I would love to see somebody for the first time, 1983, throw this on a turntable and be like,
Whoa.
what the hell is going on?
And especially in a time where, I think rock at that time and even heavy metal um, was a little bit more glamorous, right? And
Yeah,
then here are these dudes just coming in and cut off t-shirts and a pair of jeans and, some
yeah,
Chuck Taylors. Just they're not doing the makeup. They're not doing that thing. They're just like, we'd like to kick you in the balls and rock your face, right? So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how it goes.
It moves into Motor Breath at number 3, which is just like pure speed.
All gas, no brake on that one, man.
Yeah, yeah, and this is more like your standard hardcore type of pacing.
Yeah.
2 minutes,
Yeah.
or whatever. It's a relatively short song, and yeah, it's just like there, or 3 minutes, but it's like
Yeah.
there's no rhyme or reason. It seems like you have a 4-minute song, 7-minute songs. Like mostly when you think of like jam bands, like the Grateful Dead or whatever, all their songs are going to be 15 minutes long,
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever it is. They kind of fit like a format where like they're bouncing back and forth, and we'll see that. But um, yeah, this is just like a no frills song. Um,
It's got that
definitely,
big drum rolls in the beginning of it.
yeah,
Before it like kind of kicks in. It's a perfect setup, and then they just launch into the attack.
yeah. Lars is actually on time. in his drumming, so
Saying there's a
that-
timing issue there.
but yeah, this definitely could be like this could be put on like a punk compilation of sorts for
sure.
sure. Yeah, and it's fun. And I don't know, like I'm trying to listen to the lyrics a lot of times, but like you're so like distracted by all the other stuff that's going on in the music. Like you really got to listen to these things probably like 3 or 4 times just to even get a full grasp on all the songs, which is great.
It's a 4-chord master, right? I mean, there's only,
Yeah.
4 chords in that song. And the funny thing is, you think it's fast on the album, which it is. Badass fast. But then you see him play it live. And even now, it's even amped up a little bit more.
Oh, nice.
So it goes even quicker. It's unreal. So everybody loves hearing it at shows nowadays too, because it's going back and glamour
Yeah.
into the old things. But man, they still rip it out.
Yeah. Jump in the fire. Here is this kind of
So come on.
glamish type of song.
Yeah.
It's got this early glam influence mixed with their like defining of what thrash is. It's interesting. And I have a note here. It says like this is a teenage Hetfield song, and it was the lyrics were reworked over time.
Yeah. Dave Mustaine, another writer on this one, right?
Yep.
And it was like about teenage sexual experience or something like that, I think is
Yeah.
what they quoted as. And Hetfield's like, nah, let's write this song from Satan's point of view. So here we
There you go.
I mean, you can't get any more metal than that, can you? I mean,
No,
we're going to write a
and
song from Satan's point of view. Yeah, let's do it.
I think that's a good thing to do too, because when you have it's great that you're a songwriter as a teenager, but if you're you're like in your mid-20s and you're talking about like your teenage sex life or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay, this is a little bizarre. Like,
yeah.
let's do something
Not gonna
different. But
fly now.
yeah, but it's I do like this song. And again, like listening to it the first time and in these orders, I'm just like, like I literally don't know what's going to be next. Um, and then what is the next one? An instrumental. It's
And
anesthesia pulling teeth. I'm what? Okay.
you just
And
just realize this was a one take song.
oh,
Cliff
really?
demanded it to be a
That's
one
crazy.
take song. All the sound techs gone. They have one sound engineer. Brought Lars in for a little bit. One take, and you hear the beginning of that song that starts out bass solo, take one, and then it goes into that. And Cliff is a force because he played lead bass, right? In a lot of
Mhm.
songs. He had the groove, he had the wah pedal that
Yeah.
he used a lot, and just the way he was able to rip on that bass, it sounded like another guitar was out there, right?
Mhm.
But it's not, it's just the bass.
It's awesome.
And shoot, I
Yeah.
love listening to it because then it segues perfectly into the next one. But um, my goodness, what a great song! Pulling Teeth, Anastasia,
Yeah.
just a classic.
4-minute instrumental and like has this like prog influence on it too.
Yes,
It's yeah, it's great.
you
And
can
then
tell there was
Whiplash.
he listened to some Rush,
Yeah. Hell yeah. You gotta listen to some Rush every once in a while.
right?
Uh and then he goes right, eases into Whiplash, which is like your headbanging thrash metal anthem. Um won a Grammy decades later for live performance.
Yeah,
So again, like just hardcore energy on this one.
affectionately known as Dick Rash back in the mid '90s
Big
is
Crash.
what they used to call it. Is Dick Rash because they get to the point they go, "Hey, Dick Rash." And then they go back into it, but it's gained its popularity back with Whiplash now. But that's just all about just like living your life in the rock and roll world. We kick some
Mhm.
ass and here we go. Let it fucking loose.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's yeah, it is a good one. It just
Yeah.
pumps you up, which you kind of need in those like mid album points
Yeah.
at times. Like you need
Great crowd
something.
energy in that one. Great like ability to headbang to it, right? Those kind of things.
Do they play that a lot when
Oh
you see
yeah,
them?
they still play Whiplash quite a bit. So,
Nice.
which is good.
Number 7 is Phantom Lord. So here's some like fantasy lyrics a little bit. Maybe the breakdown section has some metalcore aspects of it.
Yeah.
Again, like that those terms didn't maybe necessarily exist at the time, and it was just this is all new.
Right. So they kind of defined it. They set the mark on it. Those kind of
Yeah,
things I would think
absolutely.
on that. Plus it's got like this bass drone in it, which is really
Mhm.
neat too, like a synthesized bass tone that just kind of runs through the whole thing. Now, of all the times I've seen Metallica, I've never once seen them play live this song.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I have not. I think it'd be cool to see, but not one of those that gets really played a whole lot. Plus, the guitar is a little bit different in there. It's a little bit of Peugeot going on in that guitar,
Mhm.
so it's neat. Um, Still a pretty cool song. I was always like, man, this is kind of a scary song,
Yeah,
you know. But as you grow older and you look back at it, I'm like, it's just a song, whatever.
just a song. Yeah. No Remorse is at number 8. Here's like your machine gun kind of, and then you have you're just talking about destruction, thrash again. This is something that like you know with this like the Slayer maybe
Yeah,
would.
yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. A little bit of Anthrax mixed in that too. It's more of a mid tempo song. I got a little shuffle in it. Um,
Mhm.
I think too, but it's catchy because you're always like, da-na-na, 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 da-na-na. That's all it
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to go back and forth any further than that, but it's just kind of,
Yeah.
again, one of those, forceful songs like they're just saying, hey, we are different than everybody else. And here's what you're going to take.
Absolutely. Seek and Destroy. So this is one that like I mean a lot of people know. This is really their first real big
Right.
anthem, mid-tempo kind of a vibe to it, but it's got I would imagine this is played a lot live. and this is kind of like that.
Every show, Drew. Every
Yeah,
show. Yeah.
yeah, you kind of
It's a
have
sing
to.
along song, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like when you
absolutely.
go to concerts, there's always a sing along song. Well, this is for sure a sing along song. So
Yeah, and it's you get that Hetfield like rasp in there,
yeah.
like that little kind of he's always got the grit. Um and it's just it is a
And
good
of
song.
all the
And
times, the crowd always answers back when he says searching. And then the crowd always says seek and destroy, right? I've never been to a show where they don't.
yeah,
So they're obviously very well known
yeah,
when it comes to
absolutely.
it. It was just a, a sh- high point on that album for sure. And
And
kind of where the recognition started really with that one.
yeah, and you don't and I could be mistaken, but like on like the newer stuff, you don't get a ton of like that kind of like screamy Hetfield
Nope,
much anymore.
you're getting
Um
old, right?
he's getting old, yeah, and it's hard to do, but
When
so
you're
like
touching 60, right, and you wrote these songs and you're 23, you probably never thought,
yeah,
"Man, I should sing, less high," right? And
yeah,
the notes, shouldn't be that confusing.
yeah.
Um,
But
but
even like I haven't listened to like Master of Puppets a ton, but like he doesn't even he always has like that growl kind of, but this is more like when he says destroy, like this is like a precursor to like some screaming, like
yeah,
to like the like actual like legitimate metal screaming or punk screaming and stuff like that. So
we went from
it,
"destroy" to "destroy" now.
yeah,
That's how
right.
it kinda delivers.
And that happens.
Yep.
A ton of a lot of bands, most bands play something like when they play live, they're playing an octave, at least
Yeah,
an
yeah,
half
down a
octave
bit.
to an octave down, because you just can't. You're doing
Stain.
hundreds of shows, and yeah, and otherwise you're gonna sound like Axl Rose in no time live, which
Vince Neil.
yeah, oh yeah, horrible. Uh, and then it goes into the final song here, Metal Militia, fastest song on the record. Um,
It's a
forming an
march.
army. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a march. It's like it's ending like just we're gonna ride on the streets like we are fucking Metallica, and like it's a great way to end it. Like
Yeah.
you start on a high note, you end on a high note, and you kind of say like, here we are, for the first time, and we're not going anywhere
No.
for a very long time.
The cool thing about, Metal Militia is that's where the album usually ended, right?
Hmm.
But that was the original ending. But then
Hmm.
Elektra decided in '88 to re-release Kill 'Em All
Yeah.
with 2 added bonus tracks,
Okay.
including Blitzkrieg and a cover of Diamond Head's Am I Evil?
Okay.
And, those tough copies to find, um, but those bring it in. Those are covers, and it
Yeah.
was neat to have those on the back end of it. Because Am I Evil it's recognizable, and the reason it is recognizable is because the guitar solo in that is also in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Hell
right?
yeah.
So, like, the little that part there, that's,
Yeah.
that's from that song. So,
Nice.
but yeah, a couple added tracks on that, always, uh, really good. And Metallica's been really true to what influenced them their entire
Hmm.
career, and they're not afraid to tell you that, by covering, random tunes from, uh, bands from the new wave of British heavy metal, like
Yeah.
Budgie, Diamond Head,
Hmm.
all those, Motorhead, just such a big kind of influence on them. So I love the fact that they pay homage, to what kind of brought them to where they were. And especially in early albums, because you write 10, 12 songs, and it's like, okay, what are we going to do now? We got to play a full set. We need 16. Right?
Right.
So let's do a few covers and people know it and recognize it a little bit more.
Yeah. And I think now Metallica owns their entire catalog, which is
They
good.
own everything themselves, which is awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to talk about how to run a business and a machine, that is Metallica.
Yeah.
They got some good advice.
And that's, I mean, even like Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, like they own all their own music, and
Yep.
they're like, we'll license it to you for a limited time or something. But yeah, I recall like an interview that James was doing, and he was saying like it took some time, but they were able to get the rights and start to own all their own music again. So then they could do like big box set releases or something like that, special edition of stuff, which is
Sure.
good because and you see it now in in a lot of like political landscapes and just across the board. I mean, look at Radiohead. Their song was used in a way that they didn't want it to be used, and it's like you can't do that. So
Yeah.
like when you own it, if you don't own it, technically like your record company or can just give it to whoever
Yeah.
for a couple $1,000, and then it's used in a
You
way
don't
that
see
you don't
anything.
want.
Yeah.
Right. So they're a super smart a group.
And
And
not only do they own the music, they also own the production too. So,
oh
like,
hell yeah.
everything you see at the show,
Yeah.
that's Metallica bought and purchased. Every person that works on that tour
As a
is an
Metallica
employee of
employee.
Metallica,
Could you
right?
imagine saying that? I work
Who
for
do you work for?
Metallica.
Metallica. Fuck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It'd
I mean,
be great, but
overall, this album, I think it has some, I guess it definitely has like the thrash aspects of it.
Mhm.
Black Flags Damaged is a big one that a lot of people go for in like the thrash world a little bit, regardless of how you feel about Henry Rollins era Black Flag. It is a little more thrashy. They have, I think, a lot of the same kind of like mindset of doing it yourself, and this is our stuff. This is what we're doing. Um, you think Metallica would be as big now if Dave was still in it?
boy, I don't know because I'm glad he isn't
Yeah,
because
me too.
he launched Megadeth, which turned out to be another one of those big four thrash,
Mhm.
bands from the time. And I think Dave's his own creative monster that if he can control it, I think it's better,
Yeah,
right? I don't think the cohesiveness would be there like it is now, and I don't
right.
think they'd probably be where they have reached with Dave in there.
Could you imagine what that some kind of monster documentary would have been
Oh,
like if
Jesus.
if he was still in it?
That was a struggle to watch anyways, man, as it is. I mean, my goodness, I'm like, wow, these guys are fucked up a little bit here.
Yeah,
Like they gotta get some help. Thankfully they
band
did,
therapy.
figured it out
Yeah.
and got through those kind of things. But yeah, I mean, again, glad Dave's in his own band and doing his own thing. And if you heard the new Dave stuff from the Megadeth album, it's amazing. It's really good. I think Tipping Point's good. A couple other tunes good on there. It's it's definitely what you expect out of a Megadeth album, and which is
Mhm.
fast, somewhat
Yeah.
interesting topics, and
I really
weird
don't like
vocals.
Megadeth. I don't like Megadeth.
No, you're not a Megadeth person?
No, granted I have not like listened to a ton of it.
Mhm.
I hate Soldier On so much. I hate
Okay, yeah.
that. Like when I have to back announce that song all the time, and then I hear his stupid voice. Like I'm just like, oh god damn it, I
So you're
get.
saying we should pull that one?
No, you can still play it. I just there's always like it just seems interesting. Like half the time I'm like, I'm back announcing the same songs all the time. And it's like, and then when you find that one day you just hate, I'm like, I don't want to hear this.
Yeah,
But
Porn Star Dancing for me.
yeah, I don't like that song either. but
But I'll tell you this, if I can give you a gateway to Megadeth, right? If I
mhm.
can give you a gateway song to Megadeth, check out From Rust in Peace,
Okay.
Holy Wars, The Punishment Due.
Okay.
Your punk brain will love that.
Sure. I'll take that.
So
Yeah, I'll take a look at
your
that.
punk brain will, and they've ended every show forever with that song. And it's
Okay.
just a really, it's long. It's a
Yeah.
clocking in 7+, but
Okay.
it's a good one for sure. If that's going to be your gateway to Megadeth, which you
Yeah.
probably won't, and I understand.
Hey, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, surprisingly, they're playing a ground stage at Summerfest in Milwaukee this summer.
I know.
Which I was like, I was like, they're an AmFam
Yeah, they're a
band.
shed show band for sure,
Yeah,
man.
but
So,
it'll be, if you're in the Milwaukee area, definitely go check it out. Summerfest looks pretty good. And if you happen to be in, I mean, like, we'll talk about like Metallica's. I mean, this is the starting point. Kill 'Em All to a massively successful career, a ton of different albums. Their catalog is so extensive. They've been doing, to the point where they do the no repeat weekends.
yeah.
You almost have to see them twice if you want to see like, to get all your favorite songs, probably, or probably even more, honestly. And they're just massively successful. They've had a handful of people left. Cliff died, right?
Yeah. A
Yeah.
bus accident overseas, and, yeah,
Okay.
so he died in that, and then Jason Newsted came in and got
Yep.
hazed hazed
Yep.
for a lot of time, And but he was a force on stage, man.
Yeah, he was good.
Newstead, man, he brought the stage delivery. It's unreal. And then
Mhm.
he just he wanted to do some other projects, and Metallica was like, "Nope, you're not doing that." So he
Yeah.
said, "Okay, I'm gonna get out." And then they brought in Rob, and Rob, I knew Rob because he was in Suicidal Tendencies, right? I listened
Yep.
to Suicidal quite a bit, and then he played with Ozzy, right?
Yeah.
So I knew it was coming in with that, and he's been a steady force now for 20 plus years in Metallica,
Yeah.
and
He doesn't use a
brings an
pick.
interesting vibe too.
No pick when he
No
plays the
pick,
bass. It's
right?
crazy.
And then his kid was playing for Suicidal, playing bass on there as well for
Oh, really?
Suicidal. Yeah,
He
it was.
stepped in for he played with Korn a little bit too, I
Yep,
think. His son
yep,
did. Yeah.
yep, correct. So
Yeah,
the
that's
the
crazy.
lineage is weird.
Lineage is a little weird, but I mean, like, for the most part, you've had 3 consistent members.
Oh yeah,
And then like you throw in after like 20 some years in the band, like you are in the band. You
yeah.
are part of Metallica. That's like saying, like, Journey's going on their last tour. Arnell or whatever his name is has been in the band longer than Steve Perry ever was. Like
It's
he's
like
he's
Cliff Burton was
Journey.
in there for a couple of years, right? And he's
Yeah,
considered a legacy member of that band.
yeah,
Rob's been in there for 20 plus years, so
yeah,
holds that
yeah.
card as the longest tenure.
But they're doing and I it's on my bucket list to get to the Sphere in Vegas,
Oh
but they
yeah,
just recently announced that they're going to be doing, was it 4 weekends?
correct.
The no repeat weekend shows again at the Sphere, which I feel like you almost have to go to both shows because you could probably have an experience not even looking at the band at the
Yeah,
Sphere, because I know a couple people that saw, like, I think they saw the Eagles, which I'm not a huge Eagles fan, but like the videos that they took, I was like, holy shit, like this is like it's an experience. And I almost would be worried. I'm like, I'm probably gonna throw up if I go, because like
I
it's
can
just like
understand that.
wild,
You know,
especially if you're high up there.
Yeah, the fun thing about that show is Lars went to the first U2 show that was at
Mm,
the Sphere. He's like,
yeah,
"Man, this would be a fucking cool venue to play." Right? And if you're the biggest metal band in the world and you got
yeah,
the stage and the opportunity to do so, yes. Mark my words, this will not be their only residency at
right,
the Sphere. So if you don't get in the first time,
right,
it's fine. Right? It'll play again. It'll
yeah.
play again, no doubt.
Yeah, Lars is, he gets a lot of grief for his playing and for all that kind of stuff, but I think he's an all right guy. Not the world's best drummer, but he does a good enough job, and he's got longevity. You can't,
Yeah.
he's better than most. He's better than you. He's better than me.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, and you got a production mind that's good and a business mind that's good too. And that's a
yeah,
lot of, if you're gonna be a commercially successful band,
right.
you got to have someone who's got that side of the brain to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to the Sphere shows?
I have the opportunity to get into tickets coming up on Monday morning. This coming
Okay,
Monday. So the travel packages went on sale yesterday
sure.
and Friday. So I guess, and the lowest one there was 1750. So
Okay,
I'm guessing tickets are probably going to be if you want a premium ticket, anywhere from 300 to 550, which for Vegas is fine, right? That's just the way
yeah.
it is because there's a
It,
ton of production into that show in that building, so I get it.
it's really
But
no different than any other stadium show.
yeah, at least now,
Yeah,
I think my first
same.
Metallica ticket I ever bought was $18, and I saw him at Summerfest.
Hell yeah, that'd be
Was
crazy.
with Days of the New, Danzig,
Oh,
no Suicidal Tendencies, Danzig, and Metallica,
oh, interesting. All right.
1994.
Damn, I was 4 years old.
You're
So
4 years old.
yeah.
Shit.
I know they do. Was it after? I think they played Lollapalooza one year in Chicago,
Yep.
and then they did like they did a pop up show at the Metro,
Yeah.
and that was like a no production show. Like they're just 4 dudes playing music at the Metro, and the Metro's a really cool venue, historic venue in Chicago for sure, right down the
Yeah.
street from Wrigley Field, home of like so many different bands that go there. And I'm like, damn, like that would have been, and the tickets I think were like $20.
Yeah.
So they played Lollapalooza, and they're like, hey, we're gonna do this show at the Metro. If you couldn't catch us at Lala, come see us here. But I mean, I think that was like old school. You had to show up at the door. It wasn't a thing on Ticketmaster or anything like that. It was which I kind of like, with those opportunities. Like if you happen to be in the right place at the right time and they're doing these pop-up shows, like do it that way, because you still will have, even a pop-up show, you'll still get people that will resell the tickets or try to on
Oh, sure.
Ticketmaster if that's the way they do it. And it's that whole system is just insane. But
I think the thing with them right now is I think they're in the legacy building mode, right? Because they're
mhm,
all approaching 60 or near 60 years old. And let's be honest, this is difficult music to play
yeah,
when you're 60 years old, probably.
yeah,
So, how does the Metallica, uh, name and likeness and legacy continue on for generations and generations, right?
hmm
I don't think they're going to be there playing like the Rolling Stones, right? Rolling Stones, a
no,
little bit easier to play,
right,
little less harsh on the body. But
yeah,
who
absolutely,
knows? They've all made the right personal decisions in their life to either get sober, get healthy, be active. So I think that helps.
hmm
So I'm curious to see. Will I go see Metallica when they're 70? Hell yes.
yeah,
Right? I thought last year was going to be the last Metallica show I was going to go to. Right? I'm like, man, I've seen them so many times. I don't know how many more I need to do.
yeah.
But then I saw him again last year, and I was like, shit, I'll go again.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to see them. They're on the list of, some bands that I'd be interested to see. Maybe one day they'll play the county fair. Probably not,
I don't
but
think so, man. When you're selling your
yeah,
T-shirts at Target and people are
right.
buying them, right? Not
Yeah, that's
necessarily
true.
county fair material anymore.
That
So,
does James Hetfield, he had a bee farm at one point. I don't know if
well,
he
I
still
think he's got a little bit of everything, right, man?
yeah.
He's a hunter, outdoorsman, and just kind of he moved out of L.A. He's living in Colorado, and
Yeah, yeah,
to hell with that stuff. So,
I think he is a beekeeper or whatever. I think
yeah,
he has like a honeybee farm, which would be interesting to I I don't know. He seems like he's such like a force on the stage, a force on these records, across the board, and then you listen to him like talk in interviews, and like he just seems like he's just like a teddy bear. He's just a
yeah,
softie,
yeah.
which I think is cool
Well, I
too.
think he keeps himself a little bit, separated from the audience at times too. Like,
Yeah.
when you're in the show, it's like, that dude is fucking talking to me, right?
Mhm.
But outside of the show, where's Lars and Kirk and even Rob do a lot of the meet and greet stuff, you won't see James there.
Yeah.
And that's fine, right? He can do what he wants. James would
Mhm.
much he says, "I don't like doing pictures with people and all this shit." He says, "Let's just have a conversation, right? Let's just talk
Yeah.
and, be cool about that." So he's got a different vibe and, kinda love it, right? And it's same with Kirk, right? He's this quirky, weird dude that, you tell just does a lot of weed, and it's just like, whatever, but he's great. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, that's Kill 'Em All. I appreciate you. Is this the your favorite album by them, or which one would you have your
huh,
favorite?
wow. I don't know, man.
I mean, there's a
I
lot.
I know. I'm such a fan of Master front to back,
Sure.
and not the big songs, right? Like the little songs, like that
Mhm.
Disposable Heroes kind of
Yeah.
tunes, battery tunes, Damage Incorporated tune.
Yep.
But Kill 'Em All's right up there, man. No doubt about it. So
It is a
uh,
good one, and
they make
it's
the top 5 list for sure. Metallica's.
yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't listened to it in its entirety, definitely check it out. It's a good way. I mean, you can enter the world of Metallica just like anybody back in the 80s or probably the 90s started with them, and yeah, it's really like it's a piece of history.
It is. And
It
big thanks
really
to you too, because I know you're not the biggest Metallica guy, but you've
yeah.
always respected it.
Mhm.
Like I've come in before on the show when you guys were doing other earlier shows talking about Metallica and, you play Metallica on Mondays for us
Yeah.
on the rock and those kind of things. But kudos to you for just like saying, hey, okay, you know what? This may not be my jam, but I still want to learn about it, still want to talk about it. And
Yeah.
that's the greatest way to do it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you have to listen to other bands' influences.
Mhm.
And Metallica easily is an influence of so many different artists, even like probably even pop artists
Oh, yeah.
or pop punk. like thrash, like all that kind of stuff. It's there's definitely, kind of like how the Beatles are an inspiration to a lot of people.
Right.
Metallica is probably I think holds just as much, if not even more power than the Beatles when it comes to influence of modern day music. So I think, and they do some cool stuff. I think they were big fans of Sum 41 back in the
Oh yeah.
day. And so they pump like they do cool stuff. And I think you have to appreciate it. And they
And
don't sound like shit either. So they're
no,
good.
you're
So
right. And obviously with fame and comes fortune, and they've been really good about also giving back, which I
yeah,
think is a great thing. They're like, hey, we've made masses of amounts of cash here, but let's do it for good now.
yeah,
Let's make some scholarships. Let's give to every food bank on this tour route we go to.
yeah,
So they're doing good in that part too, and I think that inspires a lot of other bands to do good,
yeah,
which maybe oftentimes went under the radar, but now it needs to be like you can be proud about the stuff that you're doing.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate them absolutely. And like I like the Black album.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. Um, I just haven't dived in too much like into the deeper cuts. But yeah, I'm glad I did. I liked Kill 'Em All quite a bit. The artwork is pretty like I think par for the course too with the
Well, that
the
wasn't the original cover, right?
oh no, I didn't
Yeah,
know
they
that.
wanted to call it like metal up your ass. So it
Yeah.
would be like this toilet with
Oh.
like a fist coming out the toilet. And Johnny Z's like, I'm gonna have problems marketing this thing, I think. So can we try a different thing? And
Bloody
Cliff
hammer.
was like, yeah, and Cliff was like, well, fuck the records executives, kill them all. And then they're like, all right, so that's how it's stuck. So they came up with kill them all. So
Yeah.
there's the
Oh, that's
story on
awesome.
that from what I'm
I would
told.
love to see that
Legend.
alternative cover. You could do that now. They could do a re-release where it's like they call it metal up your ass and they have that cover. Like I think that
Oh
would
yeah.
actually be a cool
Yeah,
reissue
they
or
they
something.
they sold a ton of T-shirts with that "metal up your ass" logo
Yeah.
on it in the early days too. So it
Hell
may
yeah.
not have been on the album, but it was definitely available.
That's awesome. Yeah, I do appreciate that. But like this is classic. Like you have the Metallica font. You have this old 80s just vibe on, especially in rock and roll. Like
Yeah,
this is what you got in it. So yeah,
James
they're
actually drew the logo.
oh, he did.
That Metallica logo with those big serifs on the end, on the M
Yeah.
and the A. He designed that logo. He's a pretty talented artist, drawing wise as well. So
He's a mysterious man. You learn
yeah,
so much about him, and he just keeps doing more and more. But I appreciate you
yeah,
hopping on the episode, dude, and giving me your wisdom and your knowledge because I know you are definitely a big fan of them, which is great. And you have to in the world of covering music, you have to cover some of these legendary, iconic bands and albums, even though they might not be, they might not be the my favorite thing in the world, but you got to recognize it. Give credit where credit is due for sure. Um, if you like what you hear, if you like the sound of Biggie's voice, which you should, his real name is Jason, which I think some people forget. Um, he is one half of the force of the Wheelie Big Show on 95 and 96.1, 95.1, 96.1. WTCX in Fond du Lac Ripon, Fox Valley area in Wisconsin. Listen to them every morning. They've been going on for 8 years.
8 years, yeah,
Yeah, that's when I
longest
left.
tenured morning show in East Central Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's going strong, and I'm happy to be a part of the crew as well, and in the afternoons and doing all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah,
show us
thanks
some
for you
love.
to opening up the world a little bit too on some of your punk stuff as well. I love it when you're dropping those tracks in because much I don't get to listen to a lot of punk a lot,
I get
and I
I
do
got
love
yelled
it.
at.
And so it's great
I
when you
got
drop
yelled
one
at by
in.
one person about that once, though.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Fuck.
Not by the boss man.
No, I know, but it's okay.
I thought it was funny. I'm just like, all right, man, calm down.
Whatever.
Back to your corner. No. So, all right, man. Yeah, appreciate it. Do you have you have anything you want to plug, like any like
uh,
social media or anything like that?
um, no, not really. I mean, we're wheeliebigshow.com if you want. Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
check out what's going on there. But yeah, I think we're doing good, man. Just continue to enjoy live music and support live music. I think that is the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Whether it's a cover band, original band, wherever, get in there and see a show, man. It helps. Buy some merch for the
Yep.
up and coming bands.
Yep.
Right? Make sure you're always doing that. Support them as much as you can because that merch money goes towards gas and food. And
Yep.
bands got to eat. Bands
They
got to
sure do.
drive.
They sure
So
do. I
not
have
everybody has 27 semis like Metallica.
right. Speaking of merch, you can pick up some P is for punk merch as well if you want on TeePublic. You have to go to if you go to linktr.ee/dudes with brews, you'll find P is for punk merch as well on the TeePublic store. I make next to no money off of it, but I think it's cool and it's
Can I get
print
a
on
medium? That's what I'm
medium.
wearing nowadays. Days.
Yeah, it's medium. I
Yeah.
can get you that. I got some stickers coming in. I'll leave them in the studio for you.
Looking forward.
Yeah. So hell yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing this. And we'll get you on here again.
Looking forward to it.